In last week's video, we built our overhead storage cabinets. This week, it's on to the base units. We're going to show you how we go from this empty space to this fully equipped off-grid kitchen and seating area with plenty of storage. So, let's get into it. Right, so we're making the units out of 12mm ply. So we've got a sheet of 12mm on here already. Got a few measurements there to go by. So we'll measure up 850 high, 500 wide, 480 deep. We're going to make two sides, and then we'll just join them together with some strips of wood, and then maybe just put some thin ply on the back, kickboard, and then that'll do it. That will do the job, hopefully. Right, there we go. We've got the table saw set up. It's the homemade table saw. Incidentally, all I've done is I've just bolted my power saw onto the bottom of this bit of 12mm ply or 18mm ply. Routed out a hole there. Job done. I'll get some nice straight cuts. So let's get the wood on there and get it cut. Right, I'll show you what we've done so far. So what we've got, two sides. We've got the notches cut out for the kickboards. We've got the shelf there, or base, that will go across there. That'll be routed out and put in, glued, screwed, job done. I've got a couple of these here, that's for the tops. Again, they'll be routed out, glued and screwed. The only other thing we've got to do is make another one of these bases which will form the shelf for the cooker to sit on. The only thing left to do after that is the plinths for the kickboards. And then that's the first unit done. They do make a mess, these routers. There we go. Once we clean that up, hopefully, the 12mm will just sit in there. Just needs a bit of a clean up, and that'll sit in there nicely, and that'll be our base. Right, there we are. That's the version unit dry fitted. Let's see how that fits in the van. Did just realise actually before I hit record that we've got to take a notch out of the back of the unit as well, because we've got the heating pipes to come through for the diesel heater. So that's running through underneath the units. So we're going to have to put a hole in these for that. Let's see how it looks in the van. Put the chair in here as well, dining room chair, so we can just get an idea of where the seating area is going to be. But take a quick look. There we go. So that's where that is going. That is going to be the air fryer in there. We're going to have a pull-out drawer, because obviously you can't cover in an air fryer. That'll be able to pull-out drawer. Little cupboard underneath just to store some bits. Now we've got the seating area going here. We're not using a dining room chair, obviously, but we've got the little space here. So we're going to have a taller unit coming out. A little pull-out larder. Probably a little flip-up top, worktop. So we can put some bits in the top there, perhaps. So yeah, I've marked all that out on the board already. Let's take a look at that. There's the board. This is roughly what we're doing. So this is the tall larder unit. We've got about 20 centimeters width, going 80 deep, which is going to be the same width as the bench seat, and we're going to go 110 high. The unit that is already in the van will kind of sit on here like that, if you can imagine that. So you have the air fryer in here, that's the unit. This will be sticking up a little bit, and then we'll have a little pull-out larder coming out at the bottom of here, and then we'll have a kind of maybe a void under here we can put stuff, or we'll have another couple of drawers or something. We'll figure that out later on, but first of all we need to make the actual unit. I've marked it all up on the wood, if you can see that. Got the little cutout there for the toe kick there. So we've got one board, one side there. We've got one side on the other side there. I've already got the stretchers on there marked out as well, cut out, and then we'll do the base shelf out of the middle bit there. So there you go. It's all cut out, all measured up, ready. Just got to get the saw on here and get it cut. Right, we're getting there with this larder unit, so let's see what we've got so far. So we've got both sides cut out. We've got the routed out bit for the base. That will just slot in nicely. We'll glue and screw that in. We've got the notches out at the back of the unit. These are only about 70mm square. That's for the heating ducts to go through the back. We've got the 4-inch square cutouts for the kickboards, and then we've got stretchers to go on the top, both sides, and then just one at the back there. So we just need to put it all together now and see how it looks. Well, there we go. One tall base larder unit. That's that one done. Now I haven't glued it yet, so I can take it all apart and I can put the drawers and stuff in when we get those. Just want to make the carcasses up so we can see exactly what we've got. Just see what space we've got inside, and basically just see how it all looks, really. Because you never really know what space you've got until you've actually got the kitchen in there. That's nice and sturdy. Happy with that. We'll get it in the van and see what it looks like. Right, there we go. So it does stick up above the window, but that was intentional anyway. So this will also form the backrest of the seat. So we'll be making the bench seat to go in front of that. This will be the backrest. We've got a nice worktop on the top there, and then around here we'll have a little worktop space here. Yep, that works pretty well for me. Happy with that. That's going to form the back of our seat. So we're going to have a bench seat coming across just where the plug has 50mm across and about 450 high. That doesn't include the cushion, and then it's 800 wide, so we can get 2 people just about sitting on there. That's what we're going to do. We're going to make that up and get that in. Right, here we go. So just to give you an idea of exactly what we're doing, we're going to use some of this 2x1 I've got laying around. We're going to be making 2 frames, top and bottom, and some uprights. So the top ones will be made out of the 2x1 timbers because they're going to be sort of more load bearing, as will the uprights. And these bottom ones, just to keep everything tied in together, they won't be load bearing, so I'm going to use some 1x1 that I've got knocking around for those. This will be up against the wall. This back edge will be up against the larder unit, as I showed you a second ago, so we won't need to put anything on those. So we'll be facing this over and this over with some ply, and then on the top we'll just put either some 12mm ply, or we may even put some slats on. We'll see how we get on. Right, there we go. There's a box, nice and sturdy. That's the top frame done. Just need to do a bottom frame in the 1x1, then the uprights. We've got the top frame, and then I've just cut the upright legs. These are again 2x1 and they're 400mm long, so add on the 50 for the top frame, that gives us a height of 450. Add on the cushion, that should be a nice comfortable height to sit at. So we're just going to pocket hole these, get those onto the top frame, and then just get some 1x1s to cut out to space them all out, just keep them all into place, keep everything a bit sturdy. Right, there we go. The legs are on, all screwed in. I've pocket holed this side as well in case I want to screw this into the floor, which would probably be a good idea for the seat. Started making the 1x1 supports, and they are literally just to go between the legs, like so, just to keep the distance, give it a bit of rigidity. There's no load going on them, they're literally just to keep everything together. So I've got to pocket hole these, we'll get those on. Right, got the seat box in situ. It's nice and sturdy. Well, it will be when it's screwed in to place, but I've noticed one problem: the air duct hole for the air ducting to come through. I've covered it up, so I'm going to have to re-engineer this corner. These things happen. Get back in the garage. Right, so what I'm thinking is I'll move this leg in a little bit. That'll still support the seat, and it'll leave this corner completely open for the duct, and that should be job done. Okay, so that will go about there instead. I have to cut this bottom one shorter and then just move this across. Not too much of a hassle. Right, there we go. That's done. Just cut the notch out at the back. That gives us enough room for the air ducting to come through, and we'll just route that round to the middle of the seat so that it comes out in the middle. Job done. Just got to put some sides on it for the front there, side, something on top, a couple of nice cushions. Be a nice little seat. Right, there we go. So that's the first one in. Not looking too bad. So we've got the gap here for the air fryer. That'll be on a drawer that comes out. There'll be a door on the front just protecting it. So that'll come down and then the air fryer will come out of the drawer. And down here, we'll just have a little cupboard. Opens up for the pots and pans. And then down below, we've got the warm air heating duct for the kitchen area. Got the duct coming out here for the seating area. And then this will just come through the seat and sit sort of in this corner here somewhere. So what we're going to do now, start making this unit. So this is going to be same depth as the cupboard on one side, and then same depth as the fridge or the other unit over here. So it'll be the same as the shower, a 45-degree angle coming out roughly. So yeah, there we go. The next after that will be kitchen unit here, and then we'll just bridge across the top of the fridge for the worktop, and there'll be a little blank above the fridge where the hobby's going to sit. It takes a lot of working out, but we'll get there in the end. Right, there's the larder unit all being filled. So we've got a pull out section coming in and here, and then this one will be just a little drawer, a little void behind here. Worktop will come across, obviously. That's that one, and that'll be going in shortly. And just on the table, we're all set up for cutting out the corner unit. So let's crack on with that one. Right, this is the corner unit we're building. So this is the one that's going between the cupboard and the fridge. It's going to come down like so and across. So we've done the kickboard already, toe kick. Got to cut the shelf, the base as well. I've got the cut out there for the wheel arch because we've put it over the wheel arch to give us a little bit more worktop space. Makes it a little bit more difficult making the cabinet, but it should benefit in the long run. Next job is to do the diagonal parts on there, and then diagonal toe kick here, put the shelf in, and then that one should be done. Right, so what I've done down here, I've cut the notch out for the toe kick, so a little 4 inch by 4 inch. Here I'm leaving it whole, and that's because we've got the fridge going on this side, and I don't want people walking past, probably me, kicking the fridge door open and not realising. So this is going to protect the fridge from getting damaged. So the toe kick is just going to literally go into the side as if it was going onto the notch. Right, see how this fits in. Just got to tighten the screws up again on the other side. Make sure it's nice and tight. Screw this into the side as well. I'm going to put a little bit of a support under here as well. Well, that should do it. Right, Kelly is busy doing all of the painting. So we've got the oven unit and the larder, that's all been undercoated. We've got the corner unit, that's been undercoated. The seat box, that's all been filled on the front and the side. Just got to put the top on that. So next thing we've got to do is the sink unit. So that's next job. So I've already cut the square or the rectangular section here. Next bit we've got to do is this one, which is going to come down into the step. Right, so I've already started the sink unit. I'll show you what we've got. So there we go, nice and simple. That's the bit next to the fridge, and on here we've marked out, if you make out the lines, so it's coming down along, and then this is the bit that's going to go into the side step. So we'll get that cut out, and then we can start putting that together. Right then, there we go. So there's the bottom of the side panel, that fits on there nicely. So we've just got to put the other one in and join them together. Just got to do the shelf, we've got to do the supporting sections, put it all together, that can go in. Only going to do a half shelf because we've got the sink going in here. We want somewhere for the drainage to come down, so there'll be a half shelf at the front, and then we'll face all this across the board. Maybe have a flip down table perhaps. We'll see. We are going to have a little pull-up table, sort of flappy bit for the worktop on here. That's so far so good. Okay, so we've got the sink unit in. That's all in there. We've got the plumbing coming through as well. We've got the corner unit. So we've got a little cupboard in here with a little corner display type thing here. That'll look quite nice when it's all done. Put some supports across the top just to keep the space between the units the same, and to give a little extra support for the worktop. Haven't done anything else with these, not yet. The seat box is done. I've got to paint the lid, but that's on as well. Now the next thing we've got to do is get the worktop on. Now we haven't got the actual worktop, so we're going to use some 12mm ply as a template. We're going to use some cardboard as a template for the 12mm template. But then because we're going away at the end of the week, we haven't got time to actually get the worktop and do that properly. So we're going to go away with the 12mm template on there basically. So we want to get that on and then get the hob and the sink fitted into that. So I allowed a 15mm gap all the way around the front so that we allow for the doors. I don't think that's too bad at all really. Should be fine. What we'll do is we'll shut the door. I could extend this out to where the door card is in the when we do the actual proper worktop, so that there's no gaps between the worktop and the door. That's an option for later on. Right now we just want to get this part done. Not a bad fit. We've got a bit of tweaking to do there. We've got a bit to take off here. Just scribe that part there, that part there. So we'll take those off and hopefully this will fit much better. And then we can get the sink and the hob cut out, put those in, ready for use. Right, so the next job we need to do on the kitchen is the kitchen doors. What we've decided to do is just make some nice and simple shaker style doors. We're going to use some 5mm ply. Here's one I cut earlier. That's going to be the backing of the door, and just on that we're going to just glue some shaker style frame. I'm going to make that out of this 9mm ply, 2¼ inches wide. So we'll just cut those to size, glue them into shape. So once we've done that, we'll put the hinges on. We've got some nice soft close hinges to go on, and we've got some nice little black catches as well. Put it all together and get them in the van. So let's get started on these. Right, there we go. So that's the first parts of the door all made up. We've got the backing, we've got the shaker style frame made up. All of these parts, we'll glue them in place. Give it a paint, put the hinges on, then the catches, and then we're done. Another, what, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 doors for the kitchen to do, 4 doors for the bedroom to do, and then we've got another 4 doors for the kitchen units, the top units to do. So still plenty to get on with. It's not a quick job, but it will change the look of the inside of the van once these are done. So let's crack on and get these done. Right, so Kelly's been busy painting all these doors that we made earlier. Let's just show you what she's done. There we go, lovely finish on them. So we may change the colour later on, but we've just gone for a nice crisp white clean finish for the moment. We've got black handles, we've gone for black hardware for them. Nice black handle to go on. We've got some black hinges. These do tend to snap closed, which that will help keep the door closed while we're driving along. Sit under there like that, so that'll be alright. So we just got to get that and the hinges on. We've got the other doors there to do as well, and then we can get them in the van. These are all on Amazon, so I'll put a link on the description for these if anyone's interested. I'll get them out of the wrapper, that is. There we go. Put that through there. Should line up. There we go. That's fine. Now for the hinges. Right, I'm going to put the hinges 3 inches from the edge, just to make sure they're all the same. So it's 3 inches to the centre screw. I'll come back to you in a minute.
It won't go in.
Right, there we go. All finished and done. All working nicely. We've got the gas struts in here in place. They just clip in, nice and simple. Didn't film doing it, to be honest. It's quite a fiddly little job, even though it's a simple job. And it's difficult to hold the camera and do it at the same time. So if you want any advice on how to put those on, just drop us a message in the description, and I'm more than happy to go through the process. Anyway, these all work nicely. Got the smaller cupboard there. We've got the overhead cupboard carpeted in here as well, so it's nice and warm and soft, and you don't hear things rattling around in there when we're driving, which is really good. This side we've got all the electrics over here, the router, the hub for all of the internal sensors we've got as well. Bit of power in there, USB ports. Got the wardrobe. Oh, there we go. Everything's on a soft close, which is really nice as well. We've got bottom cupboards here, again on a soft close. Nice drawer, nice deep drawer. Yeah, got the bin in. That we're going to install the bin in there. Again, that's a nice soft close. Cutlery drawer. Pantry. There we go. We'll pull out pantry so we can store all our jars and tins and God knows what. That's the air fryer drawer, so we can pop the door down like that, pull the drawer out, and we can get plenty of airflow around the air fryer when we're using it, and we can just pop it back in, and then that's that done. There we go. Nice cupboard for the pots and pans. And the one I like, this was Kelly's idea, a nice little display, which is she's already put the candles and air fresheners and in there, and it looks quite nice actually. Got these little dowel strips here just to stop anything from coming off. Little cupboard that goes all the way round behind this unit. Again, nice soft close. There we go. And then we just built a little seat there so we can go up into the bed. So, and that's the bed we've got to put in. We've actually got some of the IKEA Scorva beams. I've actually done one there. We've got a little storage unit at the back as well there, which will go at the end of the bed, so we can put all our bits and pieces. And that's just mounted on a Scorva. Mounted, well, it's on the side of the Scorva beam. And then you just see the brackets. Nice, simple, easy bed setup. To be honest, it's just a case of putting 3 beams across and IKEA slats and a mattress. Probably not worth filming it, if I'm honest. But I'll put some pictures of those on Instagram and on the Facebook page as well. So don't forget to subscribe to both of those. Absolutely free, don't cost you a thing. And of course, the other thing we've done is the surround for the sliding door. So we just used some flexible MDF and just to come round a little bit of board on here, which is actually the backing of the flexible MDF, just to keep the contour. And that looks quite nice actually. I'm quite happy with the way that's turned out. Literally put the flexible MDF all the way round, fill the gaps, and then it just needs a bit of sanding, painting, a little bit of filling in this on this little bit here, just to tidy it all up. Generally, that's come out quite well. Got the seat box in place as well. That's got a couple of heavy-duty gas struts on there. So if when we've got the cushions on here, we can still lift it up quite easily. Just see the diesel heater duct in. That's come through quite nice. Mounted on the outside. So there's plenty of storage in there. Got a little hole there just to block up, but that won't take much. So there you go. If you found any of that helpful, please do subscribe to the channel. It all helps us. Hit the like button, and there is a new hype function as well. So hit the like, hit the hype, subscribe, notification bell, all that jazz. And we will see you guys in the next one. Bye for now.